Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
And I am Mike.
And today we're cracking open a new bottle of Old Settler Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Camp Number 1 blend. So this one I wanted to do because a super fan of the channel, Steve, came over the other day, and he actually had one of these that me and him were going to kill. So I was like, geez, this bottle seems familiar, and I happened to go over there. So full disclosure, I have tried this. Mike has not tried this, but I figured let's get it out so I can actually kill the bottle that he has over there. So
I can try this one.
Yeah, let's get into the particulars on this one. So this one comes in at 100 proof. Mike got it for $46.99. It's not age stated. I can't even talk yet. I haven't had a drink. It is distilled in Kentucky. The rumor is it's still at the Green River Distillery, and it's bottled in Owensboro Distillery Company out of Owensboro, Kentucky. The mash bill is 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley. Now, I haven't had Steve's in a while. He came a while ago with that one, and I put it on the tape for mine.
I did see that. I wasn't going to say anything.
You were going to say something.
No, I was going.
I like the tape today. But they, no, so I really don't remember what it is. I know his bottle, we just looked at it right before we did this, and he got it for like, I think, 33 or something like that. It was a little bit cheaper. It
was a lot cheaper.
So, take that, again, every store is different. Whatever you could find it for, I'm going to equate the two price tags into that. You know what I mean? Whether we like it better for.
Bottom line, at 100 proof, it's half the money of the Remus.
So far, correct. Looking at it that way.
Yes.
No, 100%.
Dollars in proof.
But on the contrary, it's also like 3 to 4 times more expensive than Evan Williams bottled and bond. So we'll go with those two areas. You know what I mean?
I start with a positive. He starts with a negative.
I'm going to go with both ways if you're going to do it. But no, right. So nose-wise, it's not bad. It's actually coming out.
Not too bad. And actually, if yours was 35, that's even a better deal. But
yeah, I think Steve got it for 33. We got it right over there.
It's a little bit nut.
It does have a hint of a nut, actually.
Nut front, anyway. Pretty simple, pretty easy drinker.
I was gonna say for 100 proof though, that didn't go right away. It actually has a decent flavor.
No. Yeah, but it didn't kill you.
No. Yes, I agree with that.
Does it have a little hang time? It does. It's really not what I was anticipating, honestly.
I'm trying to think in my head, it honestly, it reminds me a lot of Evan Williams bottle and bond, of what I remember. I haven't had it in probably well over a year, and I'm going to have to eventually go down, break down and get it.
If I stop somewhere and I see it for a deal, I'll grab it.
I just have so many of them, but it's just funny because I go off of memory because I haven't had it in so long.
It's been a real long time.
Mm-hmm.
For both of us, actually. Probably more for me than you, because you probably killed the last one, but
I most certainly did. I actually like this.
I was going to say, I'm not disappointed, really. It's got a couple little flavors.
Yeah.
It definitely hangs on.
It doesn't drink water-esque at all. There's a generous amount of flavor that is coming out of this. And if I'm being 1,000% honest, we did that Remus a couple weeks ago now. I think this would have hung with and or beat even our favorite one that we had out of that.
I think it has more flavor.
That's what I'm saying. Like it seems
I know
to coat
the
a little bit better.
maybe had a little bit of nut. This has a little way more nut flavor to me.
That's what I'm saying.
I can remember.
It doesn't right. It's not just a straight one note where you're getting like the brown sugar vanilla, because I can't even say caramel, but you do get a note. You get that hint of a nut. Kind of brings me a little bit towards a spicier Jim Beam, like almost when I just recently drank the single barrel. The 108 proof, and that brought a little bit of nut, and it had a little bit of a spice. It kind of brings me in that realm, but again, that's cheaper than this on it. If there's any knock, that's my only knock I'm leaning to. 21% rye. It doesn't drink soft at all.
No, you know the spike in there.
Kind of reminds me of an Ezra too. Kind of gives me a little bit of that.
You could go there. That would be a little cheaper, but you could go there. I'm not sad.
Again, if you find it at the 33, I think we looked at the bottom of Steve's, that this ain't horrible. It's something different.
Actually, that's weird, because that's a pretty big price difference, unless he got his on sale or something.
He's got magical stores, so he really does. He does a great job.
His Cappy's is pretty big.
Yeah.
Oh no, I might have been down to Cape, actually.
Again, this has been in a sack for a
while.
I was like 2.5 books.
So it might have been. I don't know which one I was at.
Yeah,
I would venture to say probably the Cape, and that's probably why it's pricey.
It took me a while to find it because it was a couple books ago. So on that, but
it's another store though that has a pretty good variety.
Yeah, I've never been to one. Man, I'm almost getting a hint of a cherry in the front of this. Yeah, like more on the top of my glass than the bottom. Maybe that's the paper giving me the cherry. I expected, I don't remember, when he comes over, that's not the only thing we drank. You know what I mean? So I know we left a little bit so I can do one of my drink of the day with it and kill it. But we drank quite a bit of it. But it depends what you would drink this off of. But this being the first drink of the day, I mean, this is carrying a decent amount of flavor and taste. I hate the price tag that you got it at. I don't even love the $33. But at 100 proof
from Green River, though, what were their prices were still probably around this. They were lower than this.
I think they're regular. I meant it's lower.
Well, I was just looking to see.
Yeah,
but I
drank them all. They were delicious. And I think their regular Green River was like 30, low 30s, I want to say.
But was that 100 too? They were around there.
I want to say 95 maybe. This is a memory test here. That's going back a lot of whiskeys
I was doing the same thing. Yeah. I know it hasn't been back here in a while.
No, they used to be sitting right there.
I looked there, and it's not there.
They did win our blind though. Yeah. But honestly, it kind of brings me in that realm. I think Green River comes to Connecticut now. That wouldn't be a bad blind, actually. But we have a couple 100 proofers. In fact, I was looking to put a 100 proof blind together. I'm gonna have to slide this one in there and see how it actually does up against some of the ones that we recently just cracked.
We'd still even have to probably put Remus in there, the winner, against this and a couple others.
We might be able to, but I know we just did the barrel and we just did the.
We have more than
that's what I'm saying.
If you didn't want to redo that one,
right,
I get it.
Right. We had new ones we just cracked, so maybe we'll have to see if I can get one more or put it up against a classic.
Hit now.
That's what I'm saying. It was giving me, maybe I'll even throw in like an early times where that's definitely cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For this, if you can get it for the 33 or 35, whatever Steve found it for, it's not horrible. Mm-hmm. I actually like it a lot. Mm-hmm. The only thing that hurts the price tag is that. I mean, that hurts it is the price tag, and it is non-HC.
But then again, nothing's getting cheaper either. So
no, but you still have your classics.
I agree. Would I jump on a Larceny barrel proof?
100. If we threw this against the Fighting Cock and Wild Turkey and Evan Williams, would it run on it?
I forget about that one.
That's what I'm saying. They're all right there, and they're under $20. Other than the last Wild Turkey you got was $18.99 at that one store. So you're talking $20
Old Forester.
Yeah, well, the 100's usually like 25, but still, it's way lower than this.
Right. It isn't typically Wild Turkey.
No, right.
Like
that's what I mean. They'd all be cheaper, and I think they would all hang with it.
In a different flavor profile as well.
Yeah, there is a fruit coming out of this.
There is.
In fact, at first I thought it was a cherry, but you know what? I'm leaning towards like an apricot. Like it's starting to turn. Which is weird because you get that on the smell, but I'm going to try it on the palate now. When I just added more, the fruit actually came out more in the glass.
I'm not really.
There is a fruity sweetness in the front of that now, and the nut kind of gets gets knocked off to the middle towards the end.
It is right.
It's not.
It was nut forward. Now you are correct. It was a sweetie. Yes.
Oh, this might be a nice one when it opens up. You know what? I don't factor in price anyways. And if you can find it like Steve did at the 33, I'm like A- for 100 proof.
I was B plus A-, and I could almost go with the A- because it
tastes very good. The only thing that hurts this is if this was probably 107 to 115 proof. We would be jacking that up because it would just bring that much more flavor.
Probably, yes. But for where it's at, I could live with an A-.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's why
I don't think it's any. I don't even think it's in 100 proof. I don't know if it's in an A.
I'm putting it in a blind. Well, I'm going to see. I want to put it up against some bangers.
No, I'm with you there.
I think
it'll do okay.
I think we gave. I don't remember. So long ago. So many whiskeys, so little time. But we just did the barrel, and we just did the not Bondstone. the other one that were both 100 proof? And I think we were A- for both of them.
We were. Well, we
can't
have
think of what it's called.
rattled
It's
off
right there.
a couple of
Bullet,
oh, yeah.
bottled in bond.
I think this might be better than the Bullet.
Well, that's that. If you're looking for my future blind, that's what I got them 3 already together, because that was just coincidence that this happened to be another 100 proof.
No.
But those two were 100 proof, and they were very good. We either gave it an A or A-. Right, that's what I'm thinking. I think this is going to fit right in it. So, I don't know. I'll come up with a fourth one, even if I throw early times in it, because that's $25 a liter. You can't beat that. So, no, definitely. Anyway. If you have a suggestion, leave a comment down below. If I got it behind me, well, that's just it. Because I think I was going to do the Still Austin bottled in bond, because I think that did really good in the last one. You know what I mean? That's a little bit pricier, but then again, it won. You know what I mean? So, well, there you go. Again, if you guys have tried this, leave a comment down below. This is surprisingly good. Again, if you could get it to that lower end that he found it at the 33. This is a banging. I don't think you'd be disappointed.
No, I agree. If you happen to be traveling, obviously it's a different label and it looks different. Mm-hmm. It's and you're on vacation or something and you want it. This is not. You wouldn't be like, damn it, I just wasted $40. So
no, this is actually very tasty, especially if you would, because Steve went through a phase where he was a bottle and bond guy. That was his temperature. You know what I mean? That's what he liked, 100 proof. Then this is right there. This has a ton of flavor for just 100 proof whiskey. Because sometimes you get them and you taste watered down. This one isn't like that.
Here today, gone tomorrow. And
right. It actually coats very well. It has a decent viscosity. I mean, it's not the longest finish I've ever had, but for the 100 proof,
it still sticks around. And the rye does kind of hang on.
It does have a little pop rocky.
It does. It does.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, well, there you go. We'll keep this one short and sweet then, since we always have a bunch of long ones. So this one is the Old Settler Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Again, this is Camp #1 blend. I don't know if they have different blends, but it says it way down on the bottom there. So
assume they have some kind
that's
of
where you guys come in. If you've seen anything like this or other things, buy these guys, especially if you find a higher proof one. Leave a comment down below, because I would love to try something at a higher proof, because this is actually very good at the proof it's at.
I agree.
So there you go. That's our review. That being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.